Number 10. Kareena Kapoor. Kareena Kapoor is a very popular Indian actress who has appeared in many Hindi films, winning numerous awards, nominations, writing 3 books, and having her own retail clothing line. In 2016, Kareena gave birth to her first child at the age of 36 and quickly got to work to lose the post-pregnancy weight. In order to achieve this, she followed a rigid diet plan, extensive yoga routine, and even apparently had an orange juice diet. Despite her many awards, accomplishments, and seemingly positive outlook, people online were quick to criticize her change in weight after the pregnancy, even those who had previously made comments about her being too large or chubby. People flocked to her Instagram to make comments saying things like, "She looks like a skeleton," "Malnutrition problem," "What happened with Kareena? She lost her beauty," and many more inappropriate and damaging comments. It seems Kareena can't catch a break, as after gaining weight again due to her second pregnancy, she was called fat by another Pakistani actress, Hira Mani. Number 9. Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer Hudson, a famous singer and actress who launched her career on American Idol, was another celebrity who fell under public criticism after losing weight. In just about a year, she managed to lose an incredible 80 pounds. She stated that she was taking on the drastic change in order to set a better example for her son, as she believed the root of her weight issues came from unhealthy and harmful eating habits. In order to lose the weight, Jennifer completely transformed her diet with the help of Weight Watchers and was excited to share the story of her journey on talk shows like Oprah. Unfortunately, it seems that people watching her transformation did not share her excitement about the change. Fans and viewers believe that because she was a celebrity who has personal chefs, nutritionists, and the organization of Weight Watchers to access easily, that she didn't actually have to work hard to achieve her weight loss. Adele was also dragged in, as she commented on a scenario where Jennifer had recommended Weight Watchers to her, and she said she'd been pretty offended by it. Number 8. Ashley Graham. In 2020, Ashley Graham, who had been a plus-size model, fell under fire for a weight loss change that fans felt was going against her entire message. Most of the hate came under an Instagram post where she first appeared noticeably thinner. Ashley lost weight by pursuing both a healthy diet and consistent workout routine, including running marathons. As a plus-size model who had preached body positivity, fans were shocked by seeing her appear thinner on social media. They made comments saying that by losing weight, she was going against her message of embracing your size and loving your body. People criticized why she would want to change herself and lose weight when she had spoken about being comfortable being herself and being a plus-size woman. Graham responded to the outpouring of hatred with a touching sentiment saying, "At the end of the day, I'm good enough for me." She has had a long battle with body shaming, both from modeling agencies telling her to be thinner and then fans shaming her for losing weight. It seems like there's no way to win.
Number 7. Ashley Graham. She was the first ever plus-size model to appear on the cover of Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue back in 2016. But with all that recognition and of course stunning beauty to match, Ashley has also received a barrage of hate comments online, and 99% of them being fatphobic. Most of these people upset at the model claim that featuring her body is somehow glorifying bad health. In fact, one of her haters was Cheryl Tiegs, a former American supermodel who told E! that featuring plus-size models on the cover of magazines promotes an unhealthy lifestyle. This seems to be the main way that plus-size models get hate. But Ashley was very classy about the whole thing, and she had the best response. She told E! quote, "Cheryl Tiegs may have said what she said and it may have hurt a lot of people's feelings, but my skin is so thick, I kind of rolled my eyes. I was like, oh whatever, another one of these ladies," which just proves that Cheryl's comments were nothing new and probably something Ashley has heard countless times. She also said that we really need to change the industry because many other women have that same negative mindset.
Number 6. Gabby Sidibe. Gabby Sidibe is another celebrity who has faced body shaming criticism on both sides of the spectrum. Gabby, who started her acting career in 2009 with the film Precious, was often criticized for her looks and size, despite her numerous awards and nominations and clear talent in acting. Howard Stern even took to calling her enormous, though other actors, including Whoopi Goldberg, were quick to defend her. After being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, she underwent a weight loss surgery, which transformed her stomach into a smaller size. Gabby stated that without the surgery, she never would have lost weight and seemed to be confident with her new body and look. However, a lot of people criticized her method of weight loss, looking down on her choice to receive a surgery in order to transform her body. She responded by saying she's not bothered by these comments, stating that it's her body and people should focus on their own. While controversial to some people, She's not the only big name to undergo weight loss surgery.
Number 5. Meghan Trainor. Okay, I think we all remember the controversy surrounding the music video for Meghan Trainor's Me Too. The singer had to deal with body shaming that was not actually coming from fans, but the company that produced her song. So the controversy all started in May of 2016 upon the release of her hit song Me Too, but not long after she learned that they had photoshopped her to make her waist look smaller in post-production. At first, she was confused and she told Good Morning America, quote, "When it was up, I saw my fans posting clips of this dance scene and I was like, why are my fans messing with my waist? And then I looked at my video and I was like, it's my own video." And the crazy thing is that even though Meghan herself was involved in the editing process, they photoshopped her waist down without her knowing. Her reaction was mostly surprised at first because she just wasn't sure how it was done. But she quickly took action. Quote, "I love the director and I love this video and was so proud of this, but I have to call up the head of Vivo and say, take it down, that's not me. I need to fix this now as soon as I can." And she actually really meant it because the video was subsequently removed and a little bit later, the unedited version was then posted.
Number 4. Meghan Trainor. Meghan Trainor, the singer of All About That Bass fame, is another celeb to join the list of those who wanted to change and improve their lifestyle when having children. After having her child, she appeared at least 20 pounds lighter than she had previously been. Fans were shocked to say the least when they saw that the change had taken place. Her most famous songs seemed to be about body positivity and loving yourself, no matter what you looked like, and especially if you were plus sized. So, similar to Ashley Graham, fans saw her weight loss as going against her message of acceptance and being comfortable in your own skin, questioning if she was just another celeb to preach about going against expectations just to succumb to them herself. But Meghan states her reasons for weight loss as wanting to have a better lifestyle, feel better mentally, and apparently even saying, "I just want to live forever, man. I want to stay looking young forever." Me too, Meghan. She was also attacked by online commenters who made fun of her for losing the bass that had made her as famous as she is. While facing criticism, many also believe that she's still a true role model to fans for how to change your lifestyle in a healthy and positive way.
Number 3. Kim Kardashian. Let's be honest, the star has been body shamed for years, from her plastic surgery to her post-pregnancy body that made headlines and was memed like crazy, with people comparing her to a whale. But even though some people feel like Kim has always had the desirable body type, she never really got away from the fat shaming that came with public life. You would think that after years in the spotlight she would be used to it, but Kim opened up to the We Are Supported By podcast and said that the comments about her weight during her pregnancy hurt so much, but her candidness resonated with a lot of people. She started by saying, quote, "It killed my self-esteem. I would sit at home and cry all the time," which just goes to show you how harsh criticism can be. But she has since wrote on her website that she is proud of herself and her body. Quote, "I am empowered by my body. I am empowered by my sexuality. I'm empowered by feeling comfortable in my skin. I'm empowered by showing the world my flaws and not being afraid of what anyone is going to say about me. And I hope that through this platform I have been given, I can encourage the same empowerment for girls and women all over the world," which is a great way to see that she's actually overcome all the negativity.
Number 2. Rebel Wilson. Rebel Wilson, an Australian actress you likely know best for her performance as Fat Amy in the Pitch Perfect series, or perhaps her nightmarish involvement in the live-action Cats. Whatever you know her from, it's easy to identify her as a character actress, as she was often cast to play the plus-sized comic relief character, never really being known for many serious roles. In 2020, she made the decision to make a change to her body, starting what she called her year of fitness. She spoke about trying to defeat her bad habit of emotional eating. After a year, she stunned the public with just how much her body had changed due to her efforts, and said that she was very proud of maintaining the weight loss and managing her eating issues. But despite her own confidence and pride, a lot of people criticized the change, and Rebel commented on how she had received more media attention over her body than over any of her work-related achievements. Fans were upset that she was apparently sending the message that you need to be skinny to be successful, saying that she had given in to the pressure of the industry. She even received negative comments from her Hollywood team, who told her that it was a bad choice, as it would make her harder to find work after her success of being the funny fat girl in movies and television. Number 1. Adele. Adele Adkins, more famously known by just her first name of Adele, is a very famous singer, constantly topping charts and making headlines for her incredibly popular music. In 2019, Adele first started losing weight and over time lost around a whopping 100 pounds. She credits the weight loss to her rigid fitness routine, which includes deadlifting, boxing, and circuit training. She also commented on how fitness improved her mental health, saying it improved her anxiety and not having to look at her phone so much. Adele received very similar criticism to Rebel Wilson, as many of her fans viewed her as a role model for plus-size women and how you don't have to be skinny to be successful. They took to social media saying things like, "Skinny Adele feels like a betrayal." They felt that the plus-size community had been responsible for her fame, so when she lost the weight, they saw it as a betrayal of the people and community who had gotten her to where she is. In response, Adele said that she remains body positive no matter what size she is. She says she understands why some women were hurt, but she's still the same person and she did it for herself and not anyone else, which I think is a very important sentiment to keep in mind when considering changing any aspect of yourself.
Number 10. Ariana Grande. The singer spoke up about skinny shaming when she saw a tweet comparing herself to Modern Family actress Ariel Winter. One person tweeted about being asked which one he would prefer to date, and he replied that he'd choose Ariel over Ariana because according to him, curves are sexy and sticks are not. Although he probably couldn't have imagined his tweet going viral, Ariana actually responded to him, only to condemn the comparison. Quote, "We live in a day and age where people make it impossible for women, men, anyone to embrace themselves exactly as how they are." She also had a great comeback for him, saying that misogyny, objectifying, labeling, comparing, and body shaming were definitely not sexy in her opinion. Her fans came out in support of her, which was good to see considering that in 2015, many took to Twitter voicing their concern when Ariana pulled up to the 57th annual Grammy Awards looking rather lean. When her own fans commented on her especially petite frame, Ariana said that it was because she had given up junk food. It's a little bit sad that she even had to explain herself. Number 9. Kendall Jenner. In 2013, Kendall opened up to Harper's Bazaar Arabia, revealing that she was currently dealing with skinny shaming. Quote, "I'm constantly criticized for being too skinny." The star told the magazine that while she is trying to gain her weight back, her body won't let it happen. She continued on, saying that what people don't understand is that calling someone too skinny is the same as calling someone too fat. And we can actually see that in a 2018 promo for Revenge Body with Khloe Kardashian. The host revealed that Kendall had actually been battling skinny shaming since she was a child. According to Khloe, Kendall was always very thin and was actually bullied because of her weight. Khloe added that she thinks all forms of body shaming are wrong and that people don't sympathize when people are body shamed for being too thin, which is extremely true considering that people tend to make fun of those who say they are trying to gain weight for their health instead of lose it. So it's clear that despite being the highest paid supermodel of all time, even Jenner is not immune to being body shamed. Number 8. Sarah Jessica Parker. The Sex and the City star's weight has long been a topic of discussion since the series premiered in the 90s. In 2004, she sat down with Oprah and addressed the issue of women idealizing her thinness. Quote, "Actresses have this weight standard for professional reasons, but I think the standard is impossible for women in America. Parker recognizes that her size is not the norm for other women. In fact, she doesn't want women looking to her weight as if it is." She goes on to say that while filming Sex and the City, her job required her to put on a little dress and run around the streets of New York in heels. But she stresses that she also had the financial means to hire a yoga teacher to come to her house while a babysitter looked after her newborn baby. Quote, "For 95% of the world, that's not realistic." Parker also recognizes that there are likely genetics at play. While the actress admitted to People in 2008 that she eats seriously everything, she said that she thinks she just has a predisposition to being slim, which was overall a very honest way of looking at it. Number 7. Gal Gadot. When the Israeli actress was first cast as Wonder Woman way back in 2015, the backlash she received online was swift, because many people believed that she was too underweight to play the DC Comics superhero. Gal was harshly criticized by superhero fans for being flat-chested and ended up accepting that she was too skinny when she looked back at pictures of herself from 5 years ago. Weeks after the initial outcry, the now 37-year-old opened up for the first time on the body criticism that came with getting her breakout role. Speaking to Israeli television show Good Evening with Guy Pines, Gadot revealed, quote, "I represent the Wonder Woman of the new world." And when asked whether or not she would be gaining weight for the role, she said that she will only be gaining body mass and training very hard to build muscle. Then a few years later in an interview, she looked back on the pressure to conform to what fans' idea of Wonder Woman was supposed to be. Quote, "They said I was too skinny and my were too small. They said my head was too big and my body was like a broomstick." But she went on to say that when it comes to criticism, she can take anything because it's just empty talk, and that she understands that part of what she's doing means being exposed, and part of being exposed is being under fire. Number 6, Angelina Jolie. Unfortunately, after her mother passed away from ovarian cancer in 2007, Angelina Jolie lost weight. But even under those tragic circumstances, her weight loss was noticed and harshly criticized. The actress was kind of pushed to speak up about her body, telling Grazia, quote, "I have always been lean, and this year I lost my mother and I've gone through a lot." The star's weight loss was not intentional, but it was actually because of grief, which is something that she was adamant about clarifying. She goes on to say that she's not trying to look thin, but that she's trying to work through a very difficult year. Angelina further expressed that she found it disturbing that people wouldn't first consider if a person who had lost a lot of weight might be going through something traumatic, which is completely true, as no one ever thinks that there might be another underlying reason to somebody being thin. Number 5, Bella Hadid. Bella Hadid once again found herself on the receiving end of criticism from those who believe the model looks too thin. The negative comments came flooding in shortly after Love magazine posted a video on Instagram of Bella wearing a variety of revealing one-piece bathing suits that show off her frame and prominent hip bones. In the clip, the then 22-year-old model spoke about body image. Quote, "Growing up, I definitely was not the most confident person. I kind of was always searching, so I guess when I felt the most beautiful was very recently, in the past 2 years when my health was at its best." But the internet was way too quick to disagree with her, with one user even commenting that she was talking about self-acceptance as she's withering away to bones, and going on to blame the modeling industry, calling it barbaric and disgusting with its beauty standards. Another user wrote that the video represented an extremely unhealthy message to impressionable young girls, and basically blames Bella for looking the way she did in that swimsuit. After the backlash, the model later posted a photo on Instagram with a caption to slam those who made assumptions about her weight, saying that all body types are different and react differently to a great workout routine and a healthy diet. Number 4, Gigi Hadid. The model seemed to cop the worst of both worlds when it comes to body shaming. In February of 2018, Gigi revealed that she was once considered too big for the industry. She clarified on Twitter, writing, quote, "For those of you so determined to come up with why my body has changed over the years, you may not know that when I started modeling at 17, I was not yet diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease." Gigi said that those who felt that she was too heavy to be a model were actually seeing water retention and inflammation, which are all symptoms of her thyroid disease. In addition to being thought of as too fat, Gigi has also been considered too thin. In a separate tweet, the model said that since her health has improved from her teenage years, she's better able to manage her condition, and her outward symptoms have dissipated. Quote, "I may be too skinny for you, but I feel healthier internally." Later, the supermodel urged people to have more empathy for others and to lift up those that you admire rather than be cruel to those that you don't. Very wise words. Number 3, Bethenny Frankel. The star of Real Housewives of New York and the founder of Skinny Girl Products, Bethenny Frankel is among those who have been very harshly judged on the internet for being way too thin. Although she has received a huge amount of negative comments regarding her weight, she doesn't seem too stressed about it and instead saw it as an opportunity to talk about body shaming as a whole, responding to the criticism in a really thoughtful way. In an interview with the podcast Fortune Unfiltered, she said, quote, "I think being thin is a very, very polarizing thing. I think people get mad at you for it, or it makes themselves feel better if they can say, well, she doesn't eat. and she works out every day, neither of which are true. Hitting back at the rumors that she diets like crazy or deliberately starves herself, she told listeners that she in fact does eat, and insisted that she stays away from fat-free foods and instead just sticks to smaller portions of the food that she loves. Frankel said that she's also adamantly against weight loss programs. Quote, "The word diet has the word die in it, and it's a multi-billion-dollar business because diets do not work." Number 2, Doja Cat. Doja Cat is sick of trolls at this point who are commenting on her body online, and she's taken to social media to call out people doing it. On June 25th, Doja went on Instagram Live, and she used it as an opportunity to address people who think it's okay to make remarks about her weight. The 26-year-old filmed herself sitting at her laptop while she got Siri to recite a passage that she wrote in response to people saying she's too skinny, and making creepy comments about her body. Via Siri, she says that people constantly bring up the fact that she's skinny because they think that it's their place to speak about it, but she clarified that it's down to her decision to eat more healthy and work out. Quote, "I used to be thick, and that's forever going to be your problem. Your problem, not mine." She goes on to say that while the internet is suffering about how her body looks, she's happy and living her best life. She even called commentators creepy when they say they prefer how she used to look, because it has nothing to do with her own health or happiness. And coming in at number 1, Sarah Hyland. After she was accused of promoting anorexia with her appearance, Modern Family's Sarah Hyland took to Twitter in May of 2017 to finally respond to some of the barrage of body shaming that she's been receiving online. Quote, "I don't normally comment on things like this because it draws attention to those trying to spread negativity, but I'm here to explain a few things and spread love." At the time, the actress wasn't ready to share all of what she's been going through, but she did tell her fans that she's been on bed rest over the course of several months, and as a result, had lost a lot of muscle mass. But it wasn't until late 2018 when Hyland was actually ready to openly talk about her health struggles. The actress told Self magazine that she had received a second kidney transplant and underwent several surgeries, including one for endometriosis and another for an abdominal hernia within the 6 months before the interview. Of course, all of this intensive surgery meant that it was quite drastic on her body, and she ended up losing a bit of weight. It's a little depressing to realize that Hyland's body was being criticized at the very same time she was striving so hard to heal. Number 10, Kelly Clarkson. The singer got an absurd amount of criticism from Katie Hopkins, an English television personality who had proven time and time again that some people will go to extreme measures to tell women that being fat is some kind of moral failing and the result of laziness. But she really took it too far on her own television show, where she gains and loses about 18 kilograms just to show you how easy it is. She told Entertainment Tonight, quote, "Kelly Clarkson is now a chunky monkey. If we're putting it kindly, she does look like she's eaten her backup singers." Hopkins went on to say that Kelly needs to get out there with her stroller and do some pushing and get some of that weight off. But Clarkson's response was amazing. When Heat magazine told her about the tweets, she was puzzled. Quote, "I don't have a clue what you're talking about. Someone tweeted something about me?" And once she was actually shown the comments, she simply said, "Oh, and she's tweeted something nasty about me. That's because she doesn't know me. I'm awesome. It doesn't bother me. It's a free world, say what you will." There's literally no better way to make it clear that you're confident in your own skin. Number 9, Iskra Lawrence. 2016 was definitely a great year for Iskra Lawrence's career. The 28-year-old British fashion star rose quickly to fame in the fashion industry after American Eagle chose her as one of its models. She has also made a name for herself by promoting body positivity on her own social media accounts while making it a priority to never retouch her images. Throughout all of her success though, Iskra has worked to keep her message about body positivity relatively same for her followers. She will often post pictures online showing off her curves unretouched so others can also find inspiration in celebrating their own body shapes. But that has got her a lot of hate on the internet for being both plus size and a model. In response to an Instagram commenter who tried to shame her, she wrote, quote, "I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. This is for anyone who has ever been called fat. Thanks for the inspirational words." She captioned the photo where she was lying down surrounded by potato chips and snacks. She also added a video shot in slow motion featuring her eating a chip, then put up the middle finger and wrote that she's actually not rude, but she wanted wanted to hit back at the online trolls. Number 8. Jennifer Lawrence. She is one of the highest paid actresses in the world, and it's well known that she's probably one of the most famous. We all know she's a bit of a workaholic too, and has certainly been kept very busy since finding fame as Katniss Everdeen in the Hunger Games. But with worldwide fame and success, unfortunately, comes worldwide criticism of weight, especially for women. But according to the actress, she was actually body shamed long before she became a household name. In fact, she admitted to Harper's Bazaar that people first started calling her fat from a very young age, all the way at the beginning of her career. Quote, "It was just the kind of S that actresses have to go through. Somebody told me I was fat, that I was going to get fired if I didn't lose a certain amount of weight. They brought in pictures of me where I was basically naked and told me to use them as motivation for my diet. It was just that." She said at the time it really hurt, but she chose not to let it get her down. She added that she'll never let it happen to her again, and that if anybody ever tries to whisper the word diet, she would tell them to go F themselves.
Number 7. Khloe Kardashian. Khloe Kardashian, one of the members of the reality famous Kardashian family, is definitely not the first member of the family to undergo changes to her body, but she definitely was one of those who received harsh criticism for it. After having her child with Tristan Thompson, Khloe was another celeb to take to the gym to start losing the pregnancy weight. Also, potentially in response to the fans of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, who would refer to Khloe as the fat sister. Khloe states that the gym was her escape, managing to lose an impressive 60 pounds and continuing to stay fit to this day. Unfortunately, a lot of fans were not so impressed by the weight loss, instead choosing to be offended and disappointed about the situation. They said that Khloe's plus-size presence on the show had made her a more relatable and endearing character. Amy Schumer said that Khloe had been a role model for little girls to be themselves, but that after Khloe lost weight, she was no longer suitable as an example. Good Place actress Jamila Jamil also commented on the situation in response to an Instagram post by Khloe where she said, "2 things a girl wants. 1. Lose weight. 2. Eat." Jamil responded by saying that it made her sad and that the industry had fat-shamed her into a prison of self-critique.
Number 6. Melissa McCarthy. She's had an amazing career so far. She's been in Bridesmaids and had some of the best comedic moments on Saturday Night Live. But McCarthy has often spoken about the body shaming she has experienced throughout her career. In an interview with InStyle, the 51-year-old comedic actress brought up one particular occasion where her appearance has been scrutinized by male journalists. Quote, "He kept asking, 'Are you shocked that you actually work in this business at your tremendous size?'" The actress said that she refused to dignify the interviewer with a response, but insisted that it actually happens all the time. In fact, one especially terrible reviewer called her tractor-sized and, quote, "a gimmick comedian who has devoted her short career to being obese and obnoxious with equal success," which is ironic because at the time she was the second highest paid actress in the world. McCarthy responded to the comments and told the New York Times that she feels really bad for someone who is swimming in so much hate. She just thought that's someone who's in a really bad spot, whereas she's in a really happy spot, which makes sense because a lot of the negative comments are just projections.
Number 5. Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey is a singer who was most popular in the 90s and has managed to ride that fame to the current day. Most likely, a lot of that can be attributed to her holiday hit, "All I Want for Christmas Is You," coming back year after year to top Google searches and blare over grocery store speakers. A few years ago, Mariah appeared looking suddenly a bit skinnier. While there was some argument over how she lost the weight, it was revealed that she had likely undergone a gastric sleeve surgery. Mariah said that she had chosen to lose weight and undergo the surgery because she had never felt comfortable with her body due to body shamers, online commenters, and others critiquing her weight fluctuations. Unfortunately, the choice seemed to just bring more commenters and shamers towards her. People seemed shocked that she would get the surgery without having a major weight or medical problem, and even criticized the doctor that had agreed to perform it.
Number 4. BB Rexa. Unfortunately for celebrities, they often have to learn the hard way that you don't just find body shamers in the depths of the internet, but sometimes in the designers that are supposed to be dressing you up and making you feel spectacular. Back in 2019, the singer had to call out body shaming designers who refused to dress her for the Grammys because she was apparently too big for designer clothes, which is ridiculous. While she was disappointed, Rexa defiantly explained, quote, if a size 6 to 8 is too big, then I don't know what to tell you. Then I don't want to wear your effing dresses, cause that's crazy. You're saying that all the women in the world that are size 8 and up are not beautiful, and they cannot wear your dresses. The same year, she also fired back at body shamers on Twitter, writing, quote, "To all the people tweeting mean things about me and my weight, you just want a response, and you will not get it. Unless you are completely perfect, you have no effing right to talk about anybody else's body." And she added that she does not care about what people think about her weight. She only cares about what she thinks about her own weight.
Number 3. Mama June. June Shannon, more commonly known to fans and viewers as Mama June, gained her celebrity status from being a main character on the reality series Here Comes Honey Boo Boo, a series which focused on her daughter, young country pageant queen Honey Boo Boo. This show seemed to be a cultural phenomenon when it came out, turning millions of eyes towards the family and as a result, making them a lot of money. A few years ago, Mama June underwent multiple surgeries in order to try and completely transform the look of her body. These included a gastric sleeve and having her breasts altered. She even managed to lose so much weight that she had surgery to remove all the excess skin left on her body. The reason for the changes seemed to have been a result of body image issues. Her daughter's saying that even after the transformation, she still sees herself as fat. Fans were left upset by the drastic change because they believed that she was taking advantage of her fame and money to make far too extreme changes to her body. She also continues to receive criticism from fans for promoting things like weight loss drinks in ads on her social media pages.
Number 2, Lady Gaga. If anyone knows what it's like to constantly have your body scrutinized by the public, it's Lady Gaga. One of the times she had to deal with it was back in 2013 when a random Twitter user opted to fat shame her, and in response she just posted a selfie that featured her amazing thighs and captioned the photo "curvy and proud" with a pig emoji. It's definitely one of the simplest things you can do to show the haters that you just don't care. She also dealt with massive amounts of criticism in 2012 after posting some semi-nude photos of herself on her website, revealing that she has struggled with and then it happened again in 2017 after her Super Bowl performance, where the singer wore bodysuits and a tummy-bearing crop top from Versace. The haters were livid that she had a bit of a belly while dancing around and giving the performance of her lifetime. One tweet even said, quote, "All of Lady Gaga's female dancers were fat. Pretty sure it's to make her look thinner." And Gaga responded on Instagram saying that she heard her body is a topic of conversation. So she wanted to say that she's proud of her body and you should be proud of yours too. She told women, quote, "Be you and be relentlessly you." And coming in at number 1, Tyra Banks. When it comes to shutting down fat shamers, Tyra Banks is basically the queen. 15 years ago, we witnessed an iconic moment in television history, the day Tyra Banks told everyone to kiss it. That clip has since gone viral, and it starts with a supermodel walking into a taping of her talk show, focused on addressing photographs that had surfaced of her on the beach. In the paparazzi photos, the star was standing on the shore in a one-piece swimsuit, unaware that her figure would soon be on the front cover of every tabloid in America, under the headlines that were making fun of her weight, like Tyra Banks. But amid the intense scrutiny, Banks wore the same bathing suit on the set of her show and looked into the camera and delivered a now famous monologue. Quote, "I love my mama, she has helped me be a strong woman so I can overcome these kinds of attacks. But if I had lower self-esteem, I would probably be starving myself right now. So I have something to say to all of you that have something nasty to say about me or other women who are built like me." She then tells the haters to kiss it. Such an iconic moment, probably the best clapback to date. Number 10, Crystal Ren. The plus-size model seemed to stir up controversy and criticism online when she went from a size 14 to a size 8. Quote, "I think that by placing a title on my head, which is plus size, and then the picture that these people have created in their mind about what plus size actually is, I've basically just failed you with that." The model told ABC News that because she couldn't possibly live up to that, and that at this point she says she would actually have to have another eating disorder to live up to that expectation. Ren first started modeling at only 16 years old, and as a result, she struggled with in order to fit the mold of a sample model size, but she apparently still wasn't considered skinny enough in the industry and was almost out of work entirely. But Ren fought against it and eventually became an incredibly successful model at a size 10 to 14. But after dropping to a size 8, her agent, Gary Dakin, told her that she was now in between plus size and sample size. Although she faced criticism for being too thin, Dakin confirmed that the model is healthy and feels amazing. Number 9. Kelly Ripa. Live with Kelly and Ryan host is very used to people body shaming her and actually enjoys firing back at trolls. In an Instagram video of herself reading mean comments about her size, the actress said, quote, "I love trolling a troll, it is my favorite thing to do." This was all in response to one user complaining about the star wearing too much makeup, claiming that it made Ripa look like a wax figure. The host then made a joke that she actually wears more makeup than a wax figure, and she would know since there's a wax figure of her at Madame Tussauds. But most trolls attack Kelly's weight, with one user writing that they think her head looks too big for her tiny body. She then clapped back by telling them that 2 was misspelled. But unfortunately, she is all too familiar with the comments about her small frame. In fact, her husband, Mark Consuelos, even had to come to his wife's defense on Instagram in 2018 after several people would not stop criticizing the host for just being too skinny. Quote, "She works extremely hard in her professional life, and her commitment to exercise, healthy diet is admirable, and the benefits show." Gotta love that support from her husband, and that's really great to see. Number 8. Ariel Winter. When one person on Twitter pitted Ariel Winter against Ariana Grande, they were both labeled curves and sticks respectively. But the thing is that Ariel has also been on the receiving end of skinny shaming. The star of Modern Family shared a series of photos of herself on Instagram in January 2019, and she received a barrage of hate comments about her size, and people apparently weren't too happy with her new smaller figure. Fans flooded her comment section, calling her too skinny now and saying that she has lost her butt. A lot of people also took a more passive-aggressive approach when criticizing the young star and saying, quote, "I'm so sorry you felt the need to dramatically change your appearance," even adding sarcastically that they hope Ariel is happy now with her appearance. But it didn't stop there. Many people also accused the actress of resorting to plastic surgery to achieve her new look, and proceeded to call her a bad role model for other young women. But Ariel defended herself very well, saying, quote, "I appreciate you wanting to help girls love themselves the way they are, but you are also kind of cutting someone down, which isn't what I think you were trying to do." She then had to clarify that no, she didn't get plastic surgery, and reminded the same fan that their behavior wasn't an effective way to support women. Number 7. Ruby Rose. The Australian model and actress Ruby Rose is all too familiar with being skinny shamed throughout her career and just simply existing as a public figure in general. After posting a photo of herself on Instagram in October 2017, you can guess the kind of body shaming she received. Several Instagram users rushed to the comments to call the actress anorexic. The sad thing is that Rose did in fact take notice of all the accusations being tossed around and felt that she needed to share a message with fans in an Instagram story. She wrote that it's so frustrating because she says she just doesn't get upset at the criticism itself, but she hates it because it worries her fans or shames them. Quote, "I hate it because it uses no logic and basically is just someone projecting their experience and expectations on others." The actress explained that she really does eat a healthy, plant-based diet and doesn't drink alcohol or eat processed foods, also adding that she used to be a boxer and she recently trained very hard for her role in several action films. Number 6. Emma Stone. In a 2014 interview with 17, Emma hit back at body shamers who were way too comfortable commenting on her body and criticizing her for losing weight. Most of the fans that jumped aboard the hate train were accusing her of conforming to the pressures of Hollywood and basically calling her a sellout. But Emma brilliantly shut down criticism by explaining that her weight loss was actually just a result of age and very natural, and that it wasn't about meeting societal expectations. Quote, "I feel it can be really challenging in today's world for anyone, especially girls and women, to feel good about their bodies." She went on to say that no matter how things look from the outside, we can all be super critical of ourselves and our image in the mirror, and that she's actually seen all of the various articles and comments that have addressed her weight and saying that she's caving to pressure to be thin. But instead, she insists that keeping weight on is a struggle for her, both because of stress and the fact that she's just getting older. She says that it's just the way that her genes have decided to go, and things will change as time goes on. The actress ended her comment by calling the statements completely untrue, and that's why she's defending herself. Number 5. Lucy Hale. When the Pretty Little Liars actress shared a photo of herself on Twitter in September of 2017, one man commented on the post saying that no straight men are signing off on that anorexic look, before asking Hale to please eat a hamburger. But as you could probably guess, the celeb was not feeling that horribly offensive message. Quote, "As someone who used to struggle with anorexia, I don't take these comments lightly. I'm healthy, I'm happy, and you don't know me." Then in a separate tweet, Hale really stood up for herself and made it clear that she wasn't just going to accept body shaming, writing that she is disgusted that a man would even think of saying these absolutely awful words to a woman, and that he should be ashamed of himself. Although the problematic Twitter user obviously didn't welcome her opinion, Hale's fans and the Twitter sphere in general at least got the message. Many of her fans not only came to her defense, but they also expressed their gratitude for her decision to stand up to the person criticizing her body. Number 4. Zendaya. In 2016, Zendaya and feminist comedian Julie Klausner got into something of a Twitter feud when she skinny shamed the Euphoria star for her appearance at the Kids' Choice Awards. In less than 140 characters, Julie managed to both skinny shame Zendaya and belittle the experiences of eating survivors. She tweeted, quote, "Zendaya's ultimate retort to Giuliana Rancic is starving herself down to the size of one of her elbows." If you're a little confused by that, the comedian was basically saying that Zendaya responds to Giuliana's criticism of her natural hair last year by losing weight. I mean, the tweet didn't really make a whole lot of sense, but she was probably just being nasty as a poor attempt at comedy or something. Add to the fact that she is supposedly a feminist, and it just comes off as really sad. She was trying to bring down another woman because of her size, and she probably thought that she could get away with it because it wasn't technically fat shaming. But just like the queen she is, Zendaya responded by educating Julie on why body shaming isn't a joke. Quote, "Do you find this funny? I will write another paragraph to educate you as well. Now everyone, go look in the mirror at their beautiful body and love that." Number 3. Celine Dion. When photos of the 51-year-old singer from last year's Met Gala surfaced, people noticed that she had in fact lost weight. This got them curious as well as concerned for her. Celine Dion has addressed her weight loss and reassured her fans that she is doing well. She emphasizes that she eats healthy and works out regularly. The iconic singer's response to others' criticism about her weight was all very well done. If you think about it, throughout her whole career, she's had to defend herself from critics saying that she's too skinny. So by now, she would have some pretty epic comebacks up her sleeve. In a 2019 interview with Dan Wootton, Dion said that those who don't like her looks need not be bothered. Quote, "Don't take a picture." The star further revealed that she's just experimenting with different looks because naturally she wants to feel attractive. She added, quote, "I'm doing this for me. I want to feel strong, beautiful, feminine, fierce, and sexy." According to the icon, it's not about being thin or too thin, it's about feeling your best. Number 2. LeAnn Rimes. After Dean Chalamet and LeAnn Rimes divorced, many people became focused on the singer's weight. After taking to Twitter to share a photo of herself in a bikini in 2011, Rimes was hit with a barrage of comments calling her scary skinny. One user even tweeted, quote, "Sorry, don't mean to offend, but that's a lot of bones showing through skin." But people often fail to see the irony of not meaning to offend someone and then commenting on such a personal matter for them like their body weight. Rimes hit back saying that those bones were actually just her abs, and shutting down the unnecessary hate. Quote, "This is my body and I can promise you I'm a healthy girl. I'm just lean. Thank you for your concern, but no need to be," which is a great way to respond to such a ridiculous critique. Even though fans may have been genuinely worried about the star's weight, she surely didn't appreciate having her body labeled as scary. Often people use health concerns as a way to seem sincere with their comments, but the truth is it can also be a scapegoat for those same people just hoping to use the excuse to shame your body. It's really quite sad, but anyone that was truly concerned or worried about your health wouldn't take the time to insult you first. It's just so unnecessary. Number 1, Victoria Beckham. Victoria Beckham has spoken about the consistent scrutiny over her body throughout her whole career, in particular when she named a specific time when she was weighed during a TV show in the 90s. Yes, you heard that right. She told Vogue Australia, quote, "I went on a TV show with Chris Evans many years ago and I just had Brooklyn and I lost a ton of weight after. It happened to my mom after her pregnancy. It doesn't mean you have an eating disorder. And he made me stand on the scales to be weighed. Can you imagine doing that nowadays?" It's true that there's just no way something like that would happen today, but it must have been very traumatic for her at the time considering the fact that she had just had a baby. And when talking about the constant comments about her body type, she said, quote, "I've had porky posh spice on a headline, I've had skeletal posh. After I had Brooklyn, there was a picture on the front page of a newspaper pointing to every single part of my body where I had to focus on losing the weight from." Undoubtedly, Victoria's experience of body shaming was unacceptable, and things have certainly moved on in some ways since those days. Victoria even admits that nowadays there would have been an outcry if someone was asked to weigh themselves live on TV. But that's not to say that body shaming still doesn't occur on the regular. And she's absolutely right, because Victoria's experiences with skinny shaming represent all the pressure that women face in society to be the ideal weight.